I think we're in the right spot. 10 minutes too late.
Yeah.
Herd of deer on the other side of the creek. I know you guys couldn't see them. I can just see tails going through the woods. Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and welcome back to beautiful southern Oklahoma. It is a gorgeous fall day. Pretty chilly, like high 30s, but I'm just I came out this morning. We didn't hunt this morning. Emily had some friends over and stayed the night. Houston and Jacoby slept in, so we didn't do any deer hunting this morning. So I got out early, did a few chores, and I'm just kind of out driving around, exploring, checking things out. I was over at the pond, making sure we didn't have any signs of otter messing around over there, and just checking out the property, just enjoying nature, I guess. It's beautiful out here. And I did see a big buck. I was driving around checking a pasture, just looking at fence lines and making sure there's not hunters trespassing on us and things, and I did spook up a big buck, so there's that. But yeah, so we made it home from our trip to Alabama. I told you guys we were going to slide over into Mississippi, and we were actually over there for a couple days. We went and stayed at a really nice, amazing lodge property that was owned by Jack from Hog-Eye Trail Cameras and Big Pig Traps, the big drop trap that we use. We stayed over there with Jack for a couple days. He invited us over to hunt the opening weekend of Mississippi's rifle season. We went and toured their little facility of where they make their trap cameras and their traps and all that stuff, and actually got to see the home high school football field of Jerry Rice. It was really cool. Then on Saturday afternoon, he took us to a Mississippi State football game. Houston's ever been to a big D1 college football game, so he was excited about that. I didn't video a whole lot while we were there. We obviously were just there hanging out and having fun, and Jack he's a great guy and a cool person to hang out with. We had such a good time, and their property where his family lives is gorgeous. Beautiful pine trees with just tall native grass and 900 acres of nothing but a wildlife paradise. Something that I dream of. It's just really cool. I'm sitting here staring at this tree. Squirrel, distracted. How cool would it be to have a swing hanging from that big sycamore tree right there with the water flowing? This is a cool spot. It's a cool spot. You don't see these things when you're sitting on the couch at the house drinking coffee, watching TV, you know. But anyways, I'll roll all that footage and show you guys just a little bit, sneak peek of our trip from Alabama over into Mississippi. Kill a deer tonight?
I hope so.
Hope so. I hope you do it today. Actually, before tonight.
I'm gonna have confidence, and yes, I am.
All right. I know one thing. If Jack don't put us on a deer, I bet he can put us on a fish.
Yeah.
I thought Stevens Lake was big at Bama Bass. This is a nice lake here. Beautiful. This looks a little bit different than everything back home. I'm telling you, this looks like some good deer hunting. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. We're just gonna have to get off of here and walk into our stand. We're gonna get set up for the evening. Well, we're getting settled in for the evening. It's a much smaller blind than we're used to, and we are right on top of the field. And we only have one chair. Wish we had an extra bucket or something, but that's okay. It's a nice little box blind. But I'm telling you, we're like on top of the green field. So if the deer come in, they're gonna be right in our lap. And it's tight quarters. It's like a perfect crossbow stand if we get that snatch crossbow. But it is rifle season. It's actually youth rifle season in Mississippi right now. Tomorrow morning starts the regular rifle season for everyone. But we're gonna make the best of it, and hopefully a big buck shows up this evening.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Sitting down on the floor, huh? Yeah. You can't quite see out the window. There's a fawn out there.
I see sky and some trees and some birds.
What in the world is going on with your head? You're trying to get me skinned alive. Your mom's gonna get me. She sees a video of you like this with jacked up hair. That's better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something. Well, no deer this evening.
Nope.
Well, we saw a few, but didn't get to shoot one today.
Nope.
What's up, puppy dog? Check this out. So, we are at a place in Mississippi, the place in Mississippi, where Big Pig Trap and Hog Eye trail cameras are produced. So there's Jack, the owner, and he bought an old school. This is an old rundown school and repurposed it, rebuilt it. There's the gym. They use it for an event center and all kinds of cool stuff. The coolest fact about this whole place, this is the field. This field right here is where, okay, this is where former NFL football player Jerry Rice went to high school. This was his home school. This is where he scored all of his touchdowns, and well, you know, all the home game touchdowns in high school. That's pretty neat, Houston. I know Jerry Rice was before your time, but he was a legend. Mm-hmm. Played for the NFL. Played for San Francisco 49ers. Most of my childhood, Jerry Rice was the man, the wide receiver to watch when I was a kid, buddy.
Really?
And this is where he went to school.
That's cool.
Jack said, I didn't know this, but Jack said that Jerry Rice didn't play football until he was in high school. So that's where he scored his very first touchdown.
That's kind of crazy.
It's pretty neat somebody could make it to the NFL and not play until they were in high school. Nowadays, everybody thinks you got to start when you're like 4 years old.
Yeah.
Now, these traps look a little bit different than the one we've got. Ours is the big round drop trap. This is a panel trap where just the gate drops down. There's a gate right there. So obviously you can put as many panels and make it as big as you want. Hey, I think Boudreaux's lost.
Yeah.
I think we're lost, man.
Yeah.
We're a long way from home. So, as I said, unfortunately, Houston did not get the chance to harvest a deer in Mississippi. It was their opening weekend of rifle season. Their rifle season is going to run all the way clear into January, so we may go back over there at some point. That place was gorgeous. Really, all we saw was one doe on one sit, or like a little fawn, and then later that night we saw those 2 does and 2 fawns, and that was the only deer we saw. Never actually even heard a gunshot on opening day of rifle season. That's kind of unusual. And like I said, it was just a blast hanging out with Jack. I love partnering with small companies like that. I know we do sponsored videos for all kinds of different products that help us pay the bills and do all the things, but I really do like those hog eye game cameras, or their trap cameras that they use. It's a live stream, live feed camera, and it use it to drop that trap. They're coming out with some other products in the future. I can't really release anything because they haven't released it yet, but some other products that align with people that need some security on their property but don't necessarily need a pig trap. It's a pretty decent buck right there. There was another one that ran over into this thicket with a doe. I didn't get any video of him, but he's over there somewhere. They could care less about me right now, though. That's what the rut does to them. That buzzard's doing here. Huh. I don't see the other buck that ran off. I don't know where he went. That deer feeder and the game camera's over there. Neither one of those bucks have been on camera over there. But there's 2 buzzards there and 4 or 5 over in a tree over there. I don't know if they're just sunning, if there's something dead over here. I think they're just sunning this morning. He's sitting there in that dead tree. This field looks good, doesn't it? Nice and green and pretty. We planted this whole thing in that green cover pressure release blend of seed, and man, it's pretty right now for sure. Stop and show you guys something real quick. So I put up this, it's basically just a small tomato cage. We call it an exclusion cage in a food plot, so that it gives me an idea of how much browse pressure, how much grazing pressure the deer are putting on this field on a food plot. Not just this one, any food plot, but as you can see, it's nice and lush and green, and we've got lots of different types of plants in here, a good mixture, a good variety of stuff for the deer. But as you can tell, they are putting a lot of accidentally hit the record button. They are putting a lot of browse pressure on this, because inside the cage it's significantly taller, even with it being not necessarily a good growing season. So this stuff grows really slow this time of year, but you can see these big leaves. You're not going to see these out in here. They're small because they get eaten pretty fast. As soon as a big broadleaf pops up, they mow it down. And you can see, looks like there's definitely places where you can see browse pressure. The deer have been coming through here, clipping the tops off. That's what deer do. They don't necessarily eat an entire leaf. They just nibble the tops and keep everything trimmed down. Like, look at this plant right here. It's perfectly, looks like it's been just mowed. There's a broadleaf right there. See how much smaller it is outside that exclusion cage? And quite honestly, that's part of the reason why we've been, trying to harvest a few does this year. Houston's killed 2 does so far. It is rifle season, so I may get Emily to shoot a doe or 2, because there's 2 acres. This is a 2-acre food plot right here. And as you can see, they're keeping it fairly nibbled down pretty short. And I fertilized this field. I put 300 acres of fertilizer, of triple 13 fertilizer on this field several weeks ago now. And we've had some beautiful weather. It's had some good growth, but even with that, they're keeping it nibbled down pretty short. And none of my food plots that I planted are very tall right now. So that means we've got too many mouths to feed, and we need to thin out a few more does, I think. Look at that pond. Barely even a ripple on the water out there. It's a beautiful morning. It's supposed to change. I think the weather's going to change this evening. They're predicting it's supposed to get cloudy and colder and strong winds. So not ideal for hunting. But after going over to the Bama Bass Pond and seeing what those guys have built, their 5-acre bass pond in Alabama. This is about 1.5 acres, and we do a ton of fishing here, but I think I've got pond envy, like really bad right now. And there's not a whole lot I can do about it. The way this property is laid out, I don't really have a great spot to build a big pond. But what if we could make this one bigger? This pond, my dad built this pond, oh gosh, in the early 90s, and it's probably 12, 13 feet deep right out here by the dam. And it's kind of built in a valley. The hill goes up on this side, and you can kind of see the terrain goes up over there. The back side of the dam, there's a big ditch. Basically what he did was dammed up a big, deep ditch. So there's only so much you can do when you have hills on either side of the pond. But I kind of think we could go straight back, just the ditch that feeds this pond. I don't know how much bigger it would actually be. It wouldn't be near as wide, but I think if we could excavate a bunch of dirt back there, and possibly, I don't know, if you raise the dam another 2 or 3 feet, that would give you, if you raise the elevation of the pond 3 feet, it would flood back into the timber even more, and it would actually make it a lot bigger, even just going up 3 or 4 feet with the water level, and it would flood back into that ditch back farther. I don't know, maybe something to think about someday. Not right now, but I do have pond envy. That pond that Steven built at Bama Bass is unreal. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna head back to the house. It's kind of cool. I'm getting chilly. Probably cook all the kids some breakfast. We got Emily has 3 friends here with her, and Houston has a Jacoby over, so it's Thanksgiving break, and the kids are out of school, so they're all just hanging out and having fun and inviting friends over. And you know, I think I'm gonna go back, cook them all some breakfast. We'll make some pancakes because you can feed a lot of kids really cheap with some pancakes. So anyways, I think if everyone spreads out and goes home this evening, Emily and I are going to try to hit the woods. She hasn't got to kill a deer this year, and I saw a big buck in that field this morning, and he was really nice. And there was another one that I didn't get on video, so I may do some hunting this evening. You know, Emily used to be like my good luck charm. When I wanted to see a big buck, I just took Emily hunting, because all she had to do was go sit down, take a nap for a few minutes, big buck walks out, and we're done. The last couple of years, her luck has not been the same. That doesn't mean we're going to quit trying. So, we're going to do a little father-daughter bonding time, and by father-daughter bonding time, I mean I'm going to go watch for deer while Emily takes a real nice nap, probably. It's a beautiful day. Good day for a big buck to walk out. It's actually the day before Thanksgiving, and the sun is bright. The sun is very bright. So, we're going to hit the woods, try to kill this big buck this evening. Deer beat us to our spot.
Or
there's another one. Pretty elusive creatures right there.
yeah,
Should I honk at them or what?
I don't know. They care.
They did not care about us one bit. They're still just walking away. Problem is they're kind of where we need to go. Oh, there's the buck. Dadgummit. Shoot, I think we're in the right spot. 10 minutes too late.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the right spot. Can't argue that. Real fancy, and it's the only good use for a cedar tree I think I've ever found. Got us a hole cut in it. Let's go bury in. Alrighty, I'm back in the woods. It feels like it's been forever since Emily and I hunted, but the youth rifle season was mid-October. She had no luck. Houston and I are back from Mississippi. We had no luck there either. We had fun. It was an awesome place to hunt. It was beautiful. No bucks. So, it's rifle season in Oklahoma. We're not sitting in a big fancy ground blind. We're not at Mill Creek. We're hunting at our home property, but we're tucked back into a cedar tree. I came over here earlier today, cut us a hole in a cedar tree. As you can see, we're way back in here. And I found a good use for a cedar tree. You guys know I hate cedar trees. Well, this is a good use for one. So we're kind of tucked back in here. I've got a green field that I planted back, I guess early October. And there's been several does and a few pretty nice bucks using this area. It's the rut. The rut is on, so you never know what might show up. But I got my killer with me. Stone cold. Come on now, get that hair done. Gotta look pretty before the deer get here.
Yeah.
It's Nancy's dogs. There's 2 of them. Well, that's awesome. Things aren't going in our favor today already. We got here 10 minutes too late. Get settled in. And then neighbors' dogs from, I don't know, half a mile away come running through barking. Woosah. Well, no deer tonight. We did have a big buck come out. He hung up about 200 yards out. Couldn't have come in a worse place. Directly downwind. Not where I thought the buck would come from. But that's why they get smart. And that's why they get old, because they're smart, right? So, swing and a miss today. He was a good looking deer. Just not sure Emily would have pulled the trigger. I don't know. She couldn't. Either way, where she was at, she couldn't have got the gun on him. We needed him to come on over about 50 more yards to our right, and she could have at least made a decision. Oh well, try again next time.